Good Freak, Moving and Storage, and by Ticketmaster, official ticket partner of the Miami Heat.
A 611 center from
It is time for the Miami Heat audio experience. The Heat is on the radio. With Amy Alibert, I am Jason Jackson. Welcome to day 8 in Las Vegas for the Miami Heat Summer League team. Back in Cox Pavilion for Game 4 versus the Denver Nuggets, a clash of the organizations that were the 2023 NBA finalists. The Nuggets have yet to win here in the desert. The Heat are in strong contention for a spot in the Summer League semifinals this weekend. Amy's favorite thing.
Winning. Yes, it is. Now, I'm not going to fight you on that. Absolutely. But without lying, it feels a little too soon to look down on the other end and see those Denver jerseys. Still a little painful. But that's how it goes sometimes. And, of course, the finals is probably not the front of mind for a lot of these guys out there for the Heat right now. And stacking good days sure has to be. That's what you kind of expect today. We've seen some wonderful stretches from these guys, and at the end of the day, impacting winning is the top priority for Miami. So you'd love to see today. I'd love to see great shots, a great shot profile, maybe focusing on those assist numbers. And if the team is really serious about a summer league run, and I hope they are, there can't be much lapse out there today. We're going to see different guys. I know you're going to get a lineup, but I mean, you got to keep Denver's points low and yours high, because we're going to get into some point differential battles too.
That
we're going to
is
get it all.
the secondary tiebreaker in a head-to-head tie to get into the semifinals. If it's three teams or more, it'll then be straight into point differential. Some bodies to talk about. Nikola Jovic, he's out. He's getting ready for Serbian team play in the World Cup, so he's not in Vegas any longer. Drew Smith will not play. Orlando Robinson will not play. Jaime Jaquez Jr. remains unavailable due to injury. We'll talk with him at halftime. Andrew Peterson will not play. Those that will for the Miami Heat are Deej Kane, Gardner, Williams, and Bouye. We'll get you through the Denver Nuggets personnel in just a bit. It's time to ball you. The Heat is on the radio. And the Nuggets will start off in action. And we already have a whistle. And I'm not sure why. Oh, the old clock malfunction to start the party. So we will pause. There'll be a reset of everything. And we'll be underway in a moment. We welcome back listeners in West Palm Beach, locked into ESPN 106.3 FM. Great to have you in Stewart and Port St. Lucie, Florida. WSTU AM 1410. And, of course, the flagship 560 Sports WQAM. And those streaming on the Heat and Odyssey apps. Welcome aboard. Amy, so glad you stopped by, as am I. So Pickett gets the ball into the hands of Hunter Tyson. Tyson to Strava. Inside, deep, smothered by the Heat defense. Couple rebound opportunities for Denver, but that Heat D was just collapsing on anybody that touched that rock, and we're headed the other way.
Kamagate is going to be a huge body inside for Denver. I don't even think he left his feet on that offensive rebound attempt.
Ismail Kamagate.
He's listed
coming
at
over.
6'11",
He's originally from France. Was a pick by Denver in last year's draft in the second round. Played in Paris last season. So no score. 9:24 here in the first period. Dees kicks it out to Kane, puts it on the floor, left side drive, holds on, gets blocked by Pickett, turns around, flips it into the hands of Gillespie. He moves it to Tyson, back out top to Gillespie. He fires it right into the hands of Pickett. He's on the drive, left-hand dribble, left-hand scoop, misses everything. Rebound comes off the hands of Kane, and Ismail, who puts it up and in for two at the rim, and that's 6-11. And some change. Gardner's going to have to get in there and get some body on him.
And Jamal Cain had the initial box out, so he kind of gave his hands a little clap in frustration. I think if he kind of maybe took that extra drive step back, probably be going the other way. And Jamal's one of those guys that when you look at a game like this, it's all about opportunity for him to continue to, solidify a role on a roster.
Inside pick and left hand, up and in, and he's on the board. And so 4-0. Nuggets out front early, 8:47 here in the first quarter. Adis brings it up, calls for a screen from Gardner, left side, uses the screen to the right, moves the ball right to Bouye, who snaps it across to Gardner. Gardner on the drive to the bottom of the circle, kicks it back out top to Adis, left wing. He puts right hand dribble down, fires it left to Gardner for three, nothing but net.
Yeah, I like what Gardner did. He got the ball, took it to the paint, got it out, relocated on the wing and beyond the three-point line.
Gardner undrafted out of Marist. Has some time to tell his story in a moment as Strother, Julian Strother out of Gonzaga, 3 years there, gets the bucket on the left side. So Nuggets 6, Heat 3. Just over 8 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Turnover by Miami. Gillespie on the drive, leaves it for Strother. He missed it, but gathered it and put it right back in, right off the glass on the right side.
Yeah, off of the turnover. Listen, Denver's a team that has not won a game yet in Summer League. This is going to be an opportunity for them as well to get out here and show a little bit of fight. For Miami, you got some guys that haven't necessarily been playing a lot of minutes, so they're not going to have the luxury of too much time to figure it out as Bouye missed a layup on the other end.
Strother the drive, up and in, off the iron, backside, too long. Gardner with the rebound, gets to Bouye, push up right side. Nuggets up 8-3, 7:23 here in the first. Bouye moves it left to Adis. Pump fake, left wing. Now the drive. Free throw line, flips it to Bouye out top. He waits for a Gardner screen, uses it, double team. Gardner's open, receives, fires that lefty three, doesn't go. Late contest by Tyson. Hunter Tyson played 5 years at Clemson. Man, did he just get up and throw it down, working the left baseline, flying, and then laying down the hammer. Denver up 10-3. Just under 7 minutes remaining here in the first period. Bouye, the drive to Adis, three-pointer, top of the arc, right side, misses. High sky and rebound by Kane. He pulls it back left wing. Now the drive, pump fake, try to get Tyson in the air, kicks it back out. Adis has it now. Long two, inside the left wing, doesn't go. Rebound by Kamagate. Now on the other side, Gillespie on the drive. He gets fouled on the right side. Didn't get the bucket. He'll head to the line as he was in gather with a desire to do it.
Oh, you're seeing Denver really aggressive to the hoop on their first step to get things opened up. So Miami's got to have some better closeouts and also some better communication on the backside help.
Nuggets 10, Heat 3, 6:27 remains here in the first quarter of Game 4 for the Miami Heat Summer League team in Las Vegas. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
Imagine a bank that is always in your court, one that sees their customers as part of a team with a common goal to achieve your dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amerant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life, and just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Because at Amerant, we want you to live a life beyond what you could imagine. Amerant, official bank of the Miami Heat. Member FDIC.
The season is here, and so is your chance to experience all the thrilling Heat basketball live and in the stands. As the official marketplace of the NBA, Ticketmaster has got you covered with the largest selection of seats of any ticketing marketplace. Do not miss any of the action. Grab your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Heat.
Time for more Hot Heat Summer League action on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Heat struggling early, only hit one of their first 6 attempts. 5 of 9 have gone in for Denver. They're up 7, 10-3, nearly halfway through the first quarter.
Well, again, it's not surprising in terms of you've got guys that have not been in the regular rotation starting today for Miami. But then again, you say, hey, everyone at this level, some of these errors off the top for Miami have been a little bit more elementary. And so it's a quick timeout and a conversation. Got to play a little bit tougher and a little bit more intense because, said it before, I mean, Denver's 0-3 in the tournament. They want to show that they can win some games too and impact winning. That's what the Summer League's about, right? I mean, not every guy here is going to get their name called and expected to play tons of minutes and be this NBA star right off the top, right? It is filling in roles and impacting winning and making the right decisions out there.
Gillespie at the line. He made 2 free throws there. Colin Gillespie played 5 years at Villanova. 6th player in Big East history to win Player of the Year twice. Air ball by Miami. Gillespie with the rebound. He gets the ball into the hands of Tyson, who's got a nice little mid-range action right there outside the left mid-post. Knocking it down. Put the Nuggets up 14-3. 5:50 remaining here in the first quarter. Williams with the rock. Gets it to Audiz for a 3 that rips the net from the left side. 14-6. 5:37 here in the first. Pickett with the rock. I got a good call for offensive foul. Pickett there trying to create some room there at the top of the offense. Didn't get away with the push-off.
Well, and that's all the credit to Jamari Bouye, who was in his shorts, and that's in that position, Bouye. That's how you kind of set a tone. The defense, all your teammates can see you. You're at the top. You're way past the 3-point line, and you don't usually see that type of high pressure because that's a tough blow-by position. But hey, something's got to happen here for Miami to get back in and start competing a little tougher.
Master and Franklin in the game for Miami as Audiz and Gardner get a breather. Williams has it right wing, pulling it back. 7 on the shot clock. Out top to Franklin. He moves it left to Bouye. Right-hand dribble to the top. Step back, long 3. Top of the arc, shading left. It's a miss. Rebound by the Nuggets. Here comes Pickett. It's to Strother, fires up a 3, misses. Offensive rebound and right back in for Sims. Denver 16, Heat 6, 4:52 here in the first. Williams on the drive, and he's headed to the line as he ran right into Sims, who thought he positioned himself well but was underneath the restricted arc.
Old ACC foes. Sims played his 4 years at Clemson, and Williams, former ACC Player of the Year at Wake Forest.
You love that nugget.
I do love that nugget. It's a big deal.
ACCer.
It's a big deal.
Go Canes. Love it. Alondas Williams played his first couple years at Oklahoma, finished up at Wake Forest. My favorite nugget about him, the second triple-double in Wake Forest history.
It's a pretty good one.
Tim Duncan, the only other one.
I left that on the table for you, Jax.
Thank you, bud.
You know what? I'm really looking forward with a couple of guys not suiting up for Miami. That's the one guy that I think can also really take advantage of his opportunity in this game today.
Both free throws go. 16-8. Heat trail. There's Sims. Jumper left elbow. Got it. Nothing but net on that one. 4:30 remains here in the first period with the Nuggets up 10. Here's Kane. Hero stepping along the left baseline. Doesn't go. Offensive rebound just got away from the hands of Franklin. So here comes Denver. Pickett. Only 2. Thinks he had a 3, but I was at 2. Got his toes on the line. He rattled it in from the top of the arc. Nuggets up 28.
I know it's your pet peeve, but when it's the other team, do you mind as much?
Entirely fine with it.
All right.
Here's Williams. Nice fake. Got Pickett in the air. Got to the free throw line. A jumper that rolls right over the front of the rim and in for Williams. And it leads back to 10 for Denver, up 20-10. 3:50 here in the first period. Here's Sims. Puts it on the floor at the top. A little handoff. Oh, we got a lot of funk in the house tonight. 1 on each side. 3 ball. Rips the net for Tyson. He's 3 for 3 in 6 minutes of action. That's his first money ball that rips the net. He has 7 points. The game's leading scorer as the Nuggets are up 23-10. Whistle on the other end. The 3:31 mark here in the first quarter. Denver out front.
I'm really impressed with Tyson. At 6'8", we've seen him use his length on the mismatch earlier with the baseline drive dunk. We've seen him extend mid-range, and that time knocking down the 3. So understanding the guy in front of him and how he can best score and generate a great shot. In 5 years at Clemson, another, what is that? ACC player. Come on.
You love it. All these cats in here. At 19 points, a team high 12 rebounds in his first start on Wednesday here in Las Vegas. Did Hunter Tyson against Utah after being the top scorer off the bench in his first 2 Vegas games. Here's Kane, 3-ball, top of the arc, left side, doesn't go. Sims with the rebound. Nuggets 23, Heat 10. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Pickett to drive left side, spins in. Met by the Heat defense, fires to Tyson. Drives right baseline. He kicks it left side. Funk is off. Master chases down the long rebound. Funk thought he had an easy one coming right back to him. Master gets a left baseline, pulls it back out, kicks it out top to Williams. Wide open for three, takes it, doesn't make it. And Funk will chase it down. Andrew Funk, undrafted this year, out of Penn State. And a bucket on the inside. That's Hunter Tyson once again. Nuggets up 25-10 over your Miami Heat. 2:22 to go here in the first. Booyah. Surveying things from up top, driving right by the big fella. Sims got hammered, got locked in a nugget sandwich going low, and as we've seen so many times in Summer League. Amari Bouye on the hardwood as he likes to attack among the trees.
Yeah, you always appreciate his aggression, but Jaxie flies in there. I mean, he's so quick, and his first step is so quick. Sometimes he's getting the paint, and his full throttle is a little bit different than everybody else's.
Nuggets 25, Heat 10. Bouye still on the ground. We'll get you an update when we come back. 2:16 remains here in the first. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
Fly to Philly, take off to Tampa, depart for Denver. Following your team on the road is more rewarding with the new American Airlines Advantage program. Your flights and everyday spend not only earn you miles towards your next trip, but also loyalty points toward Advantage status. All the more reason to purchase both a home and away jersey. With status comes great benefits like priority boarding, free checked bags, and complimentary upgrades. Not a member? Enroll for free today at aa.com. American Airlines, you are why we fly. Terms and conditions apply.
Defense crazy ending for the Miami Heat store tonight's item of the game. For tuning into the Miami Heat audio experience, we are offering you 40% off Heat Classic headwear. Choose from the Classic Edition, Fitted, Snapback, or Dad Hat, and you'll get 40% off. All you have to do is log on to the MiamiHeatStore.com and enter the promo code VEGAS. That's right, VEGAS, VEGAS. Better act fast because this deal ends on Saturday at 10 a.m. And now, let's get back to Jackson Amy.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Crazy Andy, we appreciate the shout out from paradise here to the desert. Make sure you bring your moisturizer. You get into like day 8. Well, you got to lotion up like 3 times a day. Come out looking crazy. Nuggets 25, Heat 10, 2:16 remains here in the first quarter. The Heat offense entirely sluggish, just 3 of 13. But if you're just tuning in, the majority of frontline players have been a part of the games in California and the first 3 games here in Vegas, not a part of the activities.
Well, and the defense has been a little sluggish too. So that's it, right? So many times we've seen Miami find a way to stay in games because of their ability to defend. And to your point, listen, you know this, I talk about it all the time. Defensive chemistry is a thing too.
Yeah.
It's not just one-on-one. Like, all that backside, understanding how guys move, their closeouts, what they can recover from, communication, all that stuff. I mean, it's on both ends.
Nuggets 25, Heat 12 after a couple Bouye free throws. And we got an offensive foul. A screen that is not allowed by Sims. And so we're going the other way. Going to be Heat ball. Near side inbounds. Trenton Massner, undrafted this year. With the Miami Heat Summer League team, inbounds to Bouye. He'll bring it up left-hand dribble. Crosses to his right, top of the arc. Pauses. Hunter Tyson in front. Bouye left-hand dribble looking left. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Looking to do something. Pulls it back. Kicks it to Massner for 3. Right wing. Nothing but net. Massner. Sky high. Touching the ceiling here at Cox Pavilion to get that one to go. Game's back to 10. Nuggets 25, Heat 15. 1:30 to go here in the first quarter. Nice drive, left side by Funk. Gets it up and in.
Jax, you may have your best moment of the week. There is funk on funk out there, and I know you've been waiting.
Is that happening right now?
There's 2 funks on the court.
We've got Andrew Funk for Denver as Tyson rips another one from the land of milk and honey. And Taylor Funk, not related, I checked earlier today.
I was wondering, you
Yeah.
know, I was also doing some digging.
So we got A Funk and T Funk. We wants to get funked up. As Master misses off the glass on the left side.
I want to.
And listen, anybody that knows Parliament knows that it's good to get funked up when you can. You just want to be real focused on your dictation. Okay.
Done.
Here is Bouye drive right hand off the glass coming left to right. Nuggets 30, Heat 17, inside 30 seconds to go. And we're going to go Heat Funk.
Yeah.
And then Denver Funk.
Funk had 2 feet down,
He did.
trying to take that charge.
He did. I want to call them both Funk, but we're both on the floor. I'm not going to have time to say Taylor Funk and Andrew Funk. So Heat Funk and Denver Funk. Nugget Funk. That's going to be a block on him. And at the line now, Stanley. Cassius Stanley played a season at Duke 3 years ago. Still young though, man.
Yeah.
Turns 24 on August 18th, a day after we get out of here, if not 2. Has totaled 23 points in the last 2 games here in the Summer League. Shooting well, 57% from the floor and 93% from the line. Coming off the bench here for Denver today. And both of those roll in for Cassius Stanley. Got a foul as Denver goes into a full court defensive response. Up 31-17. They must be working on something.
And I imagine that Jamari must get a little tickle when he sees that. Nobody that can stay with him foot speed wise in full court. And then that's how he draws that foul.
Well, Stanley got hurt, by the way, on that drive. He walked right out of the game after that foul and is being tended to by Denver staff in the left-hand corner from our floor position.
Yeah, he's holding on to his shoulder or his neck.
Yeah, a little bit all the way through. Nuggets 31, Heat 17, 25.4 remaining. We had a cool lineup for everybody today. As folks know, it's not a standard play-by-play, particularly if I start quoting lyrics from Parliament in the middle of play. But we like to have a lot of conversations during Summer League with Heat luminaries and officials. We've had coaches. We've had front office folks. More to come. The lady who used to sit next to you for 4 seasons, now a key part of our analytics and player programs for the Miami Heat, Ruth Hunter, will be joining us. And in the second half, the man who does it, and everybody respects it, Miami Heat Senior Vice President and General Manager, the money creator, the space understander, the Cap King himself, Andy Ellisberg, will join us in the second half. And the sweet shooting left-hand out of Virginia, who celebrate a birthday somewhere in his 50s. I believe John's 4 years older than me, so I think it's the double nickel coming up. We'll see. He'll join us in the fourth quarter. Excited about all our guests coming up here on the audio experience.
Absolutely. And, you know, Jax, it's funny. I know that everyone kind of thinks like Summer League is a laid-back vibe. Obviously not for the coaches and players competing, but for a lot of these front office people as well. It's a different type of, like, they're doing some serious work around here.
Yeah.
Conversations, obviously, but then also just always evaluating. I'm really excited, especially to hear from Andy. I just can't imagine what his day-to-day shoulders up kind of mentality. Like, you don't really get too much breaks. You're always trying to find the next guy.
Right.
How can we make it work? All this stuff.
New CBA to do it.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Within.
That's intense.
And then kind of the biggest story of the offseason hovering over your head and around the organization. Nuggets 31, Heat 17. 20 seconds remain here in the first quarter. The Heat offense, not where it wants to be. Heat defense, not as locked in. 65% shooting from the floor for Denver in this first half. Bouye with the rock. Top of the arc. 5 on the drive. 3 off the back of the rim. And that's how this quarter will end. An offensive rebound that's errant from the hands of Daniel. So, Nuggets 31, Heat 17. Looking forward to spending some time now with Miami Heat assistant coach Anthony Carter. Will give us a feeling on what went down here in the first half. Now, you see you came over walking with a smile on your face. I know you're not pleased with an offense that's sluggish and a defense giving up too much right now.
No, we're not playing hard enough, and that's not Miami Heat basketball. And we got to change that in the second quarter. Guys just coming out nonchalant, and we're not getting to their shooters, and they just playing harder.
Coach, I want to ask you, we talked about obviously some new faces that haven't played as much leading up into this game, but the defensive chemistry too is a thing. So really, like, what are the keys to kind of getting out of that right away?
We just got to be more aggressive. Like, they picking us up full court, and we're not picking them up. And they basically being able to run their plays and get to whatever spot they want to get to. And we just doing a terrible job right now. We got to change that in the second quarter. And we're going to get to it right now and get this thing tied up and take the lead going into halftime.
I see you seeing the future going the way it's got to be. AC, thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Miami Heat assistant coach Anthony Carter calling what happens. What happens when you wear that heat across your chest with the Nuggets up 31-17. I'm excited to see if Ruth Riley Hunter still realizes how headsets work as she is kind enough to join us here. Hi, Ruth. How are you?
Hi.
How do those headsets feel?
It feels good.
Like riding a bike.
Yes, there you go.
There it is. Great to have you with us. This is a very busy intersection of things for you. I imagine the folks at the WNBA tugging at you as the Heat are here also during Summer League, and we're up against W All-Star Weekend. How you doing? How's your schedule right now?
You know, it's been great. The intersection of both Summer League and the WNBA All-Star, but also today I was able to, for the first time, they brought their Basketball Without Borders young girls to the WNBA All-Star. Usually they bring them to the NBA All-Star, right. And so for the first time they get to be a part of this on the W side, and it's fun to see that talent.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Ruth, before we dig into this Summer League, just through your lens, what this regular season was like for you and the postseason, of course, in that run.
Every season has its own story, and this one was really special. It was fun to watch that evolve over time and to see how the challenges and adversity early on really helped the guys as they approach the postseason. And then, you know, their ability to obviously do what they did in the playoffs. And, you know, what a fun journey for Heat Nation.
Ruth Hunter with us here on the audio experience with the Nuggets up 31-20 with just under 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Ruth, let's talk about your responsibilities right now with the team. I don't know if everybody knows as you made your transition out of the audio experience to the front office that you are the Senior Director of Team Development. Talk to us about the tasks that are in front of you each day.
Well, the first task is getting over my withdrawals of being on air with you, Jack. So that's every day.
Did you say PTSD or
yes,
withdrawals?
Yeah. No, withdrawals.
Okay, fair enough.
But I have a great job on this side. I love what I am able to do, and it's split between player programs, which is everything we do for our guys off the court, and analytics. And so as a player, I'm analytically driven, and so I've learned a lot. We have brilliant minds in our analytics department, and it's fun to be able to add value there from my experience as a player. And on the player programs, obviously we care about these guys, not just helping them reach their potential as players on the court, but as men and, you know, members of society and what their interests are. And so, you know, able to join Kenny and Yvette and Steve and what we're doing there.
Nuggets 31, Heat 22, 750 here in the first half. Amy?
Yeah, I was just giving you a second. Because, I mean, you know, it's tied up. It's gotten a lot closer now in the last
We'll be all right.
minutes.
We're here with a Hall of Famer, all right? They'll be okay.
Right. I know.
They'll
But
be
you wanted the tides to change a little bit, and they have AC.
AC said it was.
AC came over. We knew that they were probably going to snap into it a little bit more. But, I mean, aside from that first quarter, what have you liked about this group of young men that you've watched compete over the last couple weeks?
You know, it's not easy to put a team together of guys that all have similar aspirations and get them to play well together. And so it's fun to see Karan at the head here getting this experience.
Yeah.
Obviously, he has so much playing experience and on the bench, and so taking that seat over and what he's been able to do to get these guys ready and also the adjustments that he makes in games. But yeah, I think that you keep the game plan simple, but having guys that buy into that, the Heat have done a great job of always identifying talent, and I think we're seeing that here as well.
Ruth Hunter with us here on the audio experience. You hang out for another break?
I got you.
Appreciate you. Nuggets 31, Heat 22. 7:18 remains here in the second quarter. The Heat is on the radio.
There's nothing sweeter than the sound of a step-back three ripping through the net, or the chirp of your opponent's sneakers squeaking after a nasty crossover. Except maybe the roaring of the crowd after a perfectly executed Eurostep. But those moves don't just happen overnight. You have to put in the work. Countless hours of practice, relentless dedication, and endless preparation. At Kia, we've mastered a move of our own, and it's called the Telluride. Its available 3.8-liter V6 engine didn't just magically appear. We built it from the ground up. And how do you think it got 291 horsepower? Luck? Think again. You don't put on a performance this unstoppable without sweating every detail. So the next time you see someone splash a 30-foot fadeaway, remember how hard it is to make it look so easy. And the next time you're behind the wheel of the Kia Telluride, be inspired by the way it glides so effortlessly. Kia is the official vehicle of the Miami Heat. Kia, movement that inspires.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
Nuggets 31, Heat 22. Heat pushing back. They've been in a hole. Defense locked down. Now the offense is rolling. 7:18 remains here in the first half. Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves. This is the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
The Miami Heat play here. WQAM Miami, WPOW HD2 Miami, WKIS HD2 Boca Raton. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Amy Adelbert, Jason Jackson, Jamar Bouye at the line, knocking down the first of a couple. Great to have Ruth Hunter back on the audio experience, Miami Heat Senior Director of Team Development. Ruth, what is the balance of gaining information with the analytic crew that is showing a trend, offering it to the coaching staff and the players versus them coming to you wanting stuff? Well, how does that all balance out on that side of things?
Well, I think there's layers to it, and obviously Coach Bo knows what he wants to see after every game.
Absolutely.
But I think our guys are able to fill in some blind spots, areas that we see trends across the league or trends with us, or sometimes as a coach, your tunnel vision into the day-to-day, and I think we can bring a different perspective. And Spo's not going to run his game plan off of our reports. It's really just to help him, give him information to make the best decisions.
One of the biggest differences in the regular season last year to the previous year was the 3-point shooting, right? And the shots just not going down. But from you and your department, was it just a matter of just not consistently hitting shots, but still generating good shots? Because I know we had this conversation so many times, and I think everybody kind of did.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the evolution of analytics, is that you can evaluate a shot whether it goes in or not. Was it a good shot? And, and I think as a coach, then if you shot the ball well, but you took bad shots, then, that's not sustainable. But if you took great shots and they didn't go in, then you're going to keep coaching, to encourage those looks. And I think that our shooters got great looks, and they didn't fall regular season, but they started to fall when it mattered down the stretch.
Nuggets 35, Heat 24, visiting with Ruth Hunter here on the audio experience. Her home for 4 years, right here for Heat Nation. What's the balance of the work that you do this time of year with the players that show up with hope in their heart and desire in their eyes, and you're not sure if they're going to stay in the program as two ways here, or they're going to go to the Sioux Falls, or if they're going to go somewhere else? Or do you crank up the program a little bit more once you get a little more toward training camp when everything's a little more solidified?
I'd say the second. The great thing about Summer League, though, is that you get a talk to your colleagues across the league and learn best practices. And so, we're all competitive on the court, but ultimately we want the best for these guys in life. And so I think that's where player programs is one of those areas where, we're a little more willing to share like how we help these guys best. And so we're able to have our league meetings here, which has been really helpful, and get an introduction to these guys. But when we're obviously in training camp, that's where we're going to lock in and really figure out how we can help them.
One thing that I really enjoyed about our time together, and it's not missed with Amy, because you all, with your post-play love, very intense about what happens deep in the paint and on the blocks. But for you, as a former player, how challenging is it, or how enjoyable, let's put it that way, to watch have the tendencies and energy that are natural, even at this point in your life, when you're watching games and helping with evaluation?
Are we talking specifically in the post or in general?
I meant just in general. I'm talking the energy that comes from you all, because you're post players, is all 94 by 50. All right. Now let's make that clear. Yeah. And so, but how much of that do you check yourself on, or do you let that energy and awesomeness flow even when you're in assessment mode?
No, I think how I'm wired as a player, I definitely, or in this role, I definitely rely on my experience as a player. And what I do see, though, is all the passes that don't go into the post here in Summer League. So that one sticks out a little bit more.
Thank you. And by the way, he's being kind right now, Ruth. I got called out
Amy
yesterday.
changes her tone of voice when she talks about post.
No, I don't.
Like she's on a Charmin toilet paper commercial. Orlando.
Well, because he's been really fun to watch, right?
Orlando.
I can't believe this. Like, it was like a legit call out.
Look at young Gardner scampering up the floor. I'm Amy Audibert.
Because it's harder for him to do.
See, there it is. Okay. Right there. There's the love.
I wanted to ask you about Jaime, and I know just kind of getting his hands here in the Miami Heat organization, but just through the process of getting him here, what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, it was great to meet him when he came in after the draft, and to meet his family. His younger sister is going to be a sophomore at UCLA, and obviously they have a lot of ball in their family, and I think it's going to be a seamless fit into Heat culture. I would love to just shout out Dwayne Wade, though, for becoming, I'm sure you guys have covered this, but a minority owner in the Chicago Sky.
Thank you for breaking that news for Nation. Yeah,
I saw that this morning.
Yeah,
that's incredible. I mean, it's one thing to talk about supporting the league, right? But then actually showing up and doing it.
And put some cash on it.
No, that's, Well, it's a business. It's show up and,
But not just cash, but actually showing up for these women too,
absolutely.
like being in the arenas and the negotiating deals. That it's not just his money, but his leverage of what he's going to be able to do to raise, that team and ultimately our league.
As you know, Ruth, we had a very similar special for you a few years ago. One of my great joys as one of the hosts for Inside the Heat with Eric Reed are all these Hall of Fame shows we get to do. So when we went to Knoxville with you and able to present your excellence to Heat Nation, we go back to Springfield as an organization this year. The greatest player in Heat history will be enshrined. He's coming to town for his Hall of Fame interview here, so we're out of his hair in a few weeks in Springfield. But you've been enshrined. You know what Dwayne Wade means to this organization. August 11th and 12th in Springfield is going to be something else.
And it's no surprise. Everyone knew that was going to happen, but still to be able to experience that when you go through that with your family and you think through all the people that helped you get there. I think just the preparation for even the speech that you're going to give is a good reflection, because we don't spend too much time thinking back as athletes. And so obviously excited for that moment for him. And I know how meaningful that's going to be for him, and love to see that Hall of Fame banner going up in the rafters.
I've asked him twice now, and I'll see him on Sunday for his interview, how he's going on the speech. And he's noted both times he hasn't touched it. Ruth, could you be a month out and not have touched your speech yet?
He's probably thinking through concepts, though. But no, it's a lot of pressure to really articulate what the game means to you and what everyone who has been to help you get there. And So looking forward to that. Also want to give a quick shout out to AJ, his birthday today.
Arnold Jr. is somewhere in his late 40s today.
Yeah.
Somewhere in America celebrating. Hopefully not listening to us. That's what we got Fuentes here for. Ruth, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Anytime. By the way, we're at the top of 107. Actually, we're moving to the other side.
Uh-oh.
The other side of the arena. So come on by anytime. Come up to suite level, high five us, throw on some headsets, break it down. Bring all your fancy numbers. It's going to be great.
My pleasure.
Ruth, thank you.
Bye.
Ruth Hunter, Miami Heat Senior Director of Team Development, with us here on the Miami Heat Audio Experience. Nuggets 49, Heat 31. 2:29 remains in the first half. We're back in a moment. The Heat is on the radio.
Have you heard about El Car Wash, the official car wash of the Miami Heat? For as low as $19.99 per month, you can enjoy unlimited express car washes at all of our 20-plus locations from Miami through Palm Beach. If you are on your way to work, having a night on the town, or just want the refreshing feeling of a sparkly clean car, come through one of our state-of-the-art car washes for a high-quality, fast, and fun finish. Visit elcarwash.com to find a location nearest you. El Car Wash. Always drive clean.
Rapper Black is bringing his Since I Have a Lover tour on Wednesday, November 22nd. Dembo superstar El Alfa is back at Kaseya Center for his Leyenda del Dembo tour on Saturday, November 25th. And Latin music star Mike Towers is performing at Kaseya Center for his La Vida es Una tour Sunday, November 26th. These and many other events are on their way to Kaseya Center. Visit KaseyaCenter.com for a complete list or to purchase tickets.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
And Jamal Cain just catapulted himself to the ceiling to rock one down with a Heat trail big. Nuggets 49, Heat 33. 2 minutes remain here in the second quarter. I mean, it's like he hit a launching pad on the left side as Funk fires an air ball.
I would have loved to have seen them go back to Jamal, see if they can get him warmed up now, right? I mean, he's 3 for 12 from the field, 1 for 6 from long. He's got to score if they want to win this game. I mean, that's the end of the day. Of course they want to.
And another ball from the edges, 5 of 6 from downtown, the game's leading scorer, and that's Hunter Tyson. Leading edge of Wyden, the Nuggets are up 52-33 with 1:25 to go on the second quarter. Another air ball from the Heat, this time from Bouye, top of the arc. Somebody shut that door. That breeze is firing in here. Here's Pickett. He didn't even let the net move.
That's a perfect
with
shot.
That 3 ball.
That's a perfect shot.
Top of the arc.
Was that a 3? I think that was a long 2.
Was that another one of his long 2s?
I hope so.
Let me take a peek here. I'm going to take a look over here. Yeah, 4 or 5. I thought, that was a long one. Here's Funk for 3. Top of the arc. Nothing but net. You heard that one, though. That had a little schwackles on it.
And contested, too.
Nuggets 54, Heat 36. 50 seconds remain before halftime. Oh, we have a doozy at halftime today.
Oh, yes.
Some joy and happiness.
Jays.
Getting it down to the bottom of the circle, kicks it back out top. Ball moves to the left corner. 3 ball for Sims.
8 for 13 is Denver from the 3. I mean, they have hit some shots in this first half.
Sims' first take was a make from the land of milk and honey. Here's a right corner attempt by Kane that doesn't go. As a Heat trail on 21 here in the first half with about 12 seconds to go. Pickett going to dribble out some clock. Got no shot clock. With 7 seconds on the game clock. Now on the move. Got up in the air before he got down into the hands of Strother. He'll attempt a ball that gets the outside of the net, which is the wrong side of the net. So the Nuggets 57, Heat 36. Heat led by the 13 points of Bouye. 21 on the board for Tyson for the NBA champion, Denver Nuggets. When we come back, it's a Heat halftime report with yours truly and 3J Triple Day. You might even call him Triple A Jota on occasion.
Okay.
Jaime Jaquez Jr. on the microphone with yours truly. This is the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
You love watching, following, and sometimes even playing the game.
Don't ever let an injury keep you from it. Let the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of the Miami Heat, get you back to what you love. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information. Doesn't it feel good to know you can go where the pros go?
Metro Group Miami, corporate partner of the Miami Heat, the home of Metro Signs and Metro Wraps, has been South Florida's business choice for quality signs and graphics for over 34 years. No sign is too big or too small for the experts at Metro. We bring brands to life. Call us today, 954-983-6662, 954-983-6662. Visit metrogroupmiami.com to learn what we can do for you. Metro Group Miami, your everything team.
Can health insurance be a doorway to a healthier life? To yoga classes? To nutrition classes? To nurses you don't need an appointment to see? Or even community specialists who give you access to helpful resources? It can. Our Florida Blue Centers offer all that and a whole lot more. All you have to do is walk through the door. What else can health insurance do? Find out at floridablue.com. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield. Florida Blue is a trading of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Hey, Heat Nation, the best way to celebrate a Heat win is with Papa John's Pizza. Because when the Heat win, you win too. The day after a Heat win, get 50% off online orders at regular menu price when you order from the Papa John's app or papajohns.com using the promo code HEATWIN. And don't forget to join Papa Rewards for exclusive items and score points towards free pizza with every order. Papa John's, the official delivery pizza of the Miami Heat. Offer valid for online orders only. Not valid with other discounts. Delivery fee and taxes extra and are not subject to discount offer.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro, and we all know that an important part of winning a championship is getting there. And as the Miami Heat pursues another championship year, they trust the Good Greek to get them there. And when it's time for you to move like the Miami Heat and call Good Greek Moving and Storage. Whether it's local or long distance, go to goodgreek.com. Good Greek Moving and Storage, the official movers of the Miami Heat.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Summer League halftime report on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Brought to you by Amarant, official bank of the Miami Heat. Member FDIC. By the UPS Store. Be unstoppable. And by Ticketmaster, official ticket partner of the Miami Heat.
And we're at the half here in Las Vegas. It's a pleasure to have as many J's as possible. Jason Jackson along with Jaime Jaquez Jr. I'm thinking of, I got 3J ready. I've got Triple A Jota ready for the people. The Bruin experience. Yeah. When the people were going wild, the announcers are going nuts. What were some of the monikers you had there that maybe we want to bring into Heat culture too?
I had Hawk. Hawk was one of them. That's kind of was in high school because Hawk is Hawk. Sure. So that's what they called me. Even in college, a little bit. Triple J obviously was a big one. I came up with that name when I was like in second grade, and I wanted to be a street baller. So I went exactly and one mixtapes. I wanted to be a part of the crew, so I had to have a name, and Triple J was it. Then I saw Like Mike 2, and they had Double J and Triple J, and I got upset because I thought they were gonna think I copied them, but no, it was an original.
I invented that first.
No, I invented it first. It was my creation, and you know, kind of now it's like from second grade I wanted everyone to call me, and now everyone's like, Triple J, Triple J, Triple J. So
it's coming.
Yeah,
and stay with it.
Let's do it.
Talk to me about what you have been through since draft night to now. I know you'd rather be playing, but obviously healing is the dynamic now. Just kind of walk us through the process so far.
Yeah, draft night to now, it's been, man, it's like I haven't slept. Haven't got on this roller coaster, haven't got off it. And, I unfortunately got this injury against Sacramento. Nothing too serious. We're gonna do what we can to try to make it heal as fast as possible. Taking it slow, just listening to the training staff, doing whatever they need.
I said a long time ago that if New York and LA had a baby, it would be Miami. Yeah. So you're going to feel comfortable coming to town. Yeah. What have you got to know about Miami thus far? I know it's been a short period of time.
The humidity is hot as hell, man. That's what I remember. Yeah, hot. But it's beautiful. It really is. The water, I mean, the vegetation, it's really green. The culture, it's really like a different country every time I go out there, but I'm embracing it and I love it. I love it.
For Heat Nation, when they get a chance to see you, when training camp comes around, and obviously when the season starts, what is it that you would like for them to know? Like, I want you to keep an eye on this part of my game. What would that be?
I would just say my ability to play defense and play make, I think, are going to be the two things that I want Heat fans to take a look at. My ability to hit shots too. If I hit shots, then my ability to create is going to expand. So just be prepared. I'm excited for you guys to see me play.
Looking forward to it. Double J, Triple J, third quarter on the way when we come back.
It's time for easier, and buying a Yamaha Wave Runner has never been easier. With the largest stock in South Florida, and with special offers during the Perfect Choice sales event, quick and easy financing and APR as low as 3.99% for 60 months. What are you waiting for? 2022 models are arriving. Jet Ski of Miami, your go-to dealer for anything Yamaha. Jet Ski of Miami and Fisherman's Boat Group, your Yamaha Marine Superstore for over 60 years. JetSkiofMiami.com. Main retail price does not include prep, freight, or tax. Local APR rate on price based on Tier 1 qualifying APR. See dealer for details.
At the UPS store, not every small business needs the same thing, but every small business needs something. We're the scanning and faxing store, the printing store, the packing and shipping store,
I need my designing place and my printing place to be the same place store.
We're the one-stop, right around the corner, everything you need so you can be unstoppable store. The UPS store, be unstoppable. The UPS store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Imagine a bank that is always in your court, one that sees their customers as part of a team with a common goal to achieve your dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amerant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life. And just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Because at Amerant, we want you to live a life beyond what you could imagine. Amerant, official bank of the Miami Heat. Member FDIC.
The season is here, and so is your chance to experience all the thrilling Heat basketball live and in the stands. As the official marketplace of the NBA, Ticketmaster has got you covered with the largest selection of seats of any ticketing marketplace. Do not miss any of the action. Grab your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Heat.
Injured in a crash? You deserve Anajar and Levine. We stand up to the big insurance companies. They want you to settle for a fraction of what your case is worth, but we'll fight to get you the maximum money for your injuries. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference. Call me, Glenn Levine, at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Main office, Fort Lauderdale.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Underway here in the third quarter. Nuggets 57, Heat 36. If you weren't with us in the beginning, no Nico. He's out getting ready for Serbian team play in the World Cup. Drew Smith, Orlando Robinson, and Drew Peterson not going to play, and Jaime Jaquez remains out with that shoulder injury. He's yet to play here in Las Vegas due to said injury. And with all that, we turn to the man who keeps track of all that and so much more. He is Miami Heat Senior Vice President, Basketball Operations, General Manager as well, Andy Ellisberg. Greetings to you.
Greetings to you as well. How's everyone doing today?
Man, I'm glad we could get you on the headset. Everybody stops by at Genuflex is right there in your position, trying to grab your ear, your insight. That's what now 36 years in the association gets you, huh?
It is amazing when the numbers started getting up there. It is hard to believe, but it's been exciting. Look, I think this is special for people, and while you may have many interactions, for everyone else, they have one. So this is their one interaction. Awesome. So I think you want to appreciate what this is, and particularly those who are looking for opportunities or advice, or just shows our fans who are enjoying this.
That's awesome.
Andy, speaking of just sitting back and enjoying at times, did you get to take a deep breath and take in especially that postseason run? I mean, I know you're probably constantly thinking of the next or the CBA, all that stuff, and being on top of that. But did you get to appreciate that at all?
We had a day.
Yeah,
we had one day. I think we came back from Denver on Monday night. We had off on Thursday, and Wednesday we were back in the office. I mean, Tuesday and Wednesday we were back in the office. When you have a late run, and have what we like to say is a short summer, you go right from the finals into the draft. and draft into free agency and free agency into summer league. And so there is no time immediately. You just put your head down and go. Starting now, I'm going to head home tomorrow. We'll be able to enjoy it a little bit more over the next month or two and kind of sit back with it and kind of reflect on it a little bit. I mean, it's one of the great things about the achievements and finals and championships is it never goes away. It's forever. Those that you're playing at those levels of games. But no, when the price of a finals run is you are going right into the next thing. Admittedly, a little bit more fun when we go from a championship parade into a draft meeting.
Amen.
That is a little bit more fun given the choices. But it's certainly an honor representing the playoffs and going right into the draft preparation as well.
Nuggets 62, Heat 41, 7-11 here in the third quarter, visiting with Andy Ellisberg, general manager of the Miami Heat. Your right-hand man, Adam Simon, said that he went for a long walk on his one day. What did you do with your time on your one day before diving in the rest of the stuff?
Well, anyone who knows me and knows the answer, I went to the office.
I was hoping it was Adrian Arzt. That's all. There was a possibility of a show, but no way, huh?
No, there's no show that day. I did steal away last week and catch in to go see Indiana Jones. So I did get a little bit of some Indiana Jones time. And I was able to get over the Asian Arch for a little summer shorts on a weekend slip away. Okay. So there's spots, a little bit pieces of there, but unfortunately the Thursday I went in the office. The Tuesday rather I went in the office.
Tuesday, right in.
Well, sometimes the work is worth it, right? I mean, I think you look across, you see Jaime sitting there, and your team and yourself did such a great job in finding a guy that seemed to be a perfect fit. But what do you like the most about him and what you think he's going to be able to do for the Heat?
Well, I think he's our type of guy. I think he comes from the same kind of ethos that we think we value and players that we value. He has that kind of competitiveness and the work ethic that you want to see. But I think he also has an understanding of the game of basketball. I think we have a certain type of player that we like and a certain type of player we want to get. And I think he brings a lot of those kinds of things. And, you're looking for people who fit what it is you do. And he fits really what we do. And you're excited to see what he's able to do as he takes his game and grows it. At this point in time, he's got things he does well, things he can do better at. And, the great players take the things that they can do better at and become better at that. And if you can do that, then you can become you even be able to do more. So exciting to be able to see what his growth is going to look like.
Andy Ellisberg with us here on the audio experience. Andy, what's the balance, if there's any, when a draft pick, particularly first round, has an injury like Jaquez has? He wants to play, but he understands the long term of it, I imagine. If there's any tussle, that's where you err on the side of caution, making sure, as we get some excitement throw down here from the Nuggets, but I think that was wiped off, wasn't it, right there? A little offensive foul action. So Nuggets 70, Heat 43 with just over 5 minutes to go here in the third period. The best way to manage something like that, Andy, we'll talk about. I think we're going to take a break. If you'll hold on with us, we'll come right back in a minute and get your thoughts on how to deal with a precious cargo.
You got it.
All right, Andy Ellisberg, Miami Heat Senior Vice President and General Manager with us here on the Miami Heat Audio Experience. This is the Heat's world right here. The Heat is on the radio.
There's nothing sweeter than the sound of a step-back three ripping through the net, or the chirp of your opponent's sneakers squeaking after a nasty crossover. Except maybe the roaring of the crowd after a perfectly executed Eurostep. But those moves don't just happen overnight. You have to put in the work. Countless hours of practice, relentless dedication, and endless preparation. At Kia, we've mastered a move of our own, and it's called the Telluride. Its available 3.8-liter V6 engine didn't just magically appear. We built it from the ground up. And how do you think it got 291 horsepower? Luck? Think again. You don't put on a performance this unstoppable without sweating every detail. So the next time you see someone splash a 30-foot fadeaway, remember how hard it is to make it look so easy. And the next time you're behind the wheel of the Kia Telluride, be inspired by the way it glides so effortlessly. Kia is the official vehicle of the Miami Heat. Kia, movement that inspires.
time for more hot Heat Summer League action on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Heat digging out a hole in Game 4, trailing the Nuggets 70-43 with 5:03 remaining here in the third quarter. Out of Burton Jackson visiting with Heat General Manager Andy Ellisberg. Before the break, Andy, we're talking about the appropriate dealing when one of your first-round picks has an opportunity to showcase in Summer League, as Jaquez did in California, averaging 13 points per game, hitting 4 of his 9 threes. But at the end of that experience in Sacramento, had a shoulder injury, and you got to err on the side of caution this time of year, don't you?
Well, I think the first thing you have to say is, what is it the medical people and what are the player's body telling you?
Yeah.
What are you able to do? Amy, as an athlete, you may want to do something, but if your body says you can't do it, you can't, it's those things become the first step is, are you able to play at a level you're able to play with? Are you medically able to play? Are you at risk to be able to do more? If all those things come out in a favorable thing, then you have a decision to make whether it makes sense to play or not. If the body's not letting you play, you're not able to play the way you're going to be able to play, or you're putting yourself at significant risk to be able to play, then it just becomes as simple. It's a matter of fact. You're not able to play. And so it doesn't make sense beyond, to put yourself out there at greater risk to do something else. You have to really look at the long view of where it is. And so that's just, that's sort of the nature of it. It's like if you're looking at the end of the season, you may make choices in the playoffs. But again, at first it begins, are you able to play? What are you able to do? What is your body letting you do? That's where it begins.
Well, Andy, I studied sports and entertainment in university. I'm not a numbers person. And when they come at me, they have to come very slowly. So I'm often intrigued with the new CBA and how your process works. When it comes, and I'm not saying, go walk through it all, but how do you approach that? And then is there anything particularly that jumps off the page for you about this one?
I think first and foremost, as I've always said with CBA, you have to understand 2 + 2 = 5. As long as you understand that, everything becomes
the
simple.
Excellence of Ellisberg.
I'm feeling really good about myself right now, so
Yes.
thank you for that.
Yes. So it makes it simpler. I think, there's when you're looking at new CBA, you're having to dig in what are the basics of the rules, and they gave us a sort of a summary sheet to understand what are the basic differences. And while there are a lot of changes, there are also a lot more similarities. It's not a tremendously different in a lot of ways from what we've been. And so, when we got the document, I spent, there was about a 700-page blue line that showed up about a day or two before free agency. But there was about a 100-page portion of it that affected salaries that had to be signed. So I said, let me focus on the 100 pages first.
Yeah.
I said, how they come up with the BRI and distribution of the money, I'll read that later. I may look at some of the other rules and other things later, but that part I had to sort of dig into and really focus on where the particular areas for the contracts we had to sign were. I think the thing that several of them have done is they have forced teams to have to make choices. At the end of the day, you're not able to keep everybody. The rules by its nature create that. If you use cap room, for instance, there's players whose contracts are not. That room was created because contracts have expired. So there's always going to be some amount of things you have to make choices of. And there's the reality that there's a zero-sum game on the NBA roster. There's 15 players. Somebody comes in, that means somebody goes out. And it's just the nature of it. So it just forces teams, I think, to have to make a little bit more choices where things are, because the penalties are not just going to be financial. They're going to be all these some basketball choices you have to make, whether now and in the future. And so you just have to, make some of those difficult choices. And the other side of it is when you have unrestricted free agency, players have an opportunity to get a different salary from with them. And so obviously we have some guys that we've lost that have gone, but they came in working for an opportunity where they were, several years ago here, trying to earn roster spots, trying to get themselves onto a G League roster, trying to get themselves onto an NBA roster, and they were able to sign life-changing money. And set themselves up for their future and their life and for their families. And you appreciate what the road is for that to happen, of what starts here today and where that can lead to. And if it's not with us, you prefer it was certainly with us. But if it's not with us and they're able to take it someplace else, you're happy for them, what it is they're able to do, because ultimately, we're all in business to be able to take care of our families and be able to do things that we need to do. And so you're happy for them and you're proud of them, unless we play them and they hit a lot of shots against us. And maybe not so. Maybe we're not really so happy with
it. And then you have the great full circle stories like Josh Richardson, who's been away 4 years, obviously started with the organization, and now back just as Coach Bolster predicted, by the way.
Just like it's in the Godfather movies. They always come back. Everybody comes back at the end of the day.
That's it. Andy, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
You're very, very welcome. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Miami Heat, Senior Vice President, Basketball Ravens, and General Manager Andy Ellisberg with us here on the Miami Heat Audio Experience. We've got to take a quick break, come back, get you back to live action. The Heat is on the radio.
Rapper Black is bringing his Since I Have a Lover tour on Wednesday, November 22nd. Dembo superstar El Alfa is back at Kaseya Center for his Leyenda del Dembo tour on Saturday, November 25th. And Latin music star Mike Towers is performing at Kaseya Center for his La Vida es Una tour Sunday, November 26th. These and many other events are on their way to Kaseya Center. Visit KaseyaCenter.com for a complete list or to purchase tickets.
When it comes to basketball in Florida, Valley Sports Sun is the heart of the state, bringing you to the hardwood for all the biggest moments.
Kaboom! He's on fire!
Watch your hometown team turn up the temperature as they battle the very best around the league.
Oh, my.
Plus, pregame with your favorite Valley Sports team before and after each game for the Heat live pre- and post-game shows.
Yes.
Catch the Heat all season long on Valley Sports Sun, the Valley Sports app, and Valley Sports Plus.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
Heat trailing here in the third quarter in Vegas with 2:08 remaining in the quarter, 79-47. I said to Amy when we found out a lot of the frontline personnel for the Summer League team wouldn't be going against a Denver squad that hasn't won in Summer League just yet. So, that'll just balance out then, right? Let's have ourselves a good game. I was so wrong.
Yeah, I mean.
As another three, by the way, rips down for Denver. What's that now?
Yeah, 64% for Denver from the three versus just over 30 for Miami.
And another miss right there.
Yeah.
Was that a two? That was a two.
That was
so
a two,
that will not count against the 30.8% for the Miami Heat early on. Oh, my goodness. They're in here just egging on Denver to fire from downtown as they've hit 14 of 23, but a foul on the offensive attempt to throw down as they are just having the ball up 82-50. And they got an organizational announcement when they arrived and saw on that schedule. Hey, you remember that team we just sent down the mountain? They're coming up. Game 4. Send them back down.
Yeah, well, and you had mentioned this earlier, Jax. Is there some? I was surprised that they were 0-3 to be honest coming into this, because they've got a handful of guys that are.
They got 3 picks.
Yeah, they've got their picks out there, and it's an interesting dynamic because you get maybe you picked recruited and into an organization or team where the conversations, hey, be part of the rebuild. Different when it's, hey, we're the champs. We want you to come in, right? And so that's a really unique stance for some of these guys to come in for Denver. And sure as heck are heard some shots today. Wow.
Yeah, Julian Strawther, who was selected with the pick acquired from Indiana in a trade-up on draft day. Denver also got the 32, while Indy got 40 this season, and Denver's 2024 first-rounder. So Strawther, Hunter Tyson, and who's the other member of that group that was in this draft? They ended up having 3 guys, didn't they? I know they came in trying to find, they might have another undrafted guy. That may be what I'm thinking about. Armand Franklin, undrafted in this group. He started off at Indiana and then finished off at the alma mater of our fourth quarter guest. Oh, when the sweet shooting left-hander out of Virginia joins us in a little bit. Get ready. Get ready. Magic happens. We're having basically the alumni from the past 20 years of ESPN, of Heat Radio on today. I mean, it's pretty strong when you think about it. Friday into Ruth into you. Here we go.
Homecoming.
Homecoming in Vegas. Welcome to the face of the sun. We're all together.
Doesn't sound like my worst Wednesday night, Jack.
Bouye attack.
But it's not Wednesday. What night is it?
You have no idea. Don't even do that to yourself.
Exactly.
It's Friday. It's day 8. It's just count the number of days. That's the only thing you can do. You look out, it's almost like a mirage out there, and it looks like home, but it isn't.
It's Friday.
It's 120,000 degrees outside. Nuggets 85, Heat 53. I keep getting word from South Florida how hot it is there.
Oh, man.
My response is shut up.
Thank you.
It's not very soothing.
You know what?
I understand, but
we've had time to
I'm in a
think about
convection oven inside. You know what? I'm in a air fryer inside a convection oven. That's what we're experiencing.
That's the new one.
Thank you.
I do have to say it's different without the humidity. You know,
I don't want to hear that.
Dry. I'm saying I prefer the humidity.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm on board. I apologize. I'm very jumpy.
And I got hair.
Well, that's not my top issue. I'm just trying to keep this mahogany skin moisturized. That's all I want to do. Nuggets 87, Heat 54. Have you noticed I'm bronzing a little bit? Have you noticed?
Yes, you know, I was. I didn't want to say anything, but I said, wow, Josh.
It's like, Jack, you're turning into your own statue. How lovely is that? Saved by the bell. Moments away from Miami Heat lead video coordinator and Summer League assistant coach Dan Bisaccio, who's probably really excited to come over and talk to us. With the Nuggets up 87-54. But there's still 10 minutes. So you're saying there's a chance. And as he greets Bob McAdoo, puts on the headset, we greet TB. And obviously this is not how the plan went, Dan, but there's still 10 minutes on the clock. And so with that, talk to us about what you're talking to the guys about over this last stretch.
Yeah, definitely not how we drew it up. I think the most important thing right now is our communication and our connectivity. You know, those are things that are the intangibles that when you're down like this, you want to continue to help these guys grow and get better. So we're looking for that and just a lot of effort. One possession at a time.
What's the conversation you imagine right there? I mean, it's not pretty. How do you get it to be gritty?
Sometimes you don't have your A game. Sometimes you don't have your B game. And so you got to figure out how to win when you have your C game. And that's the most important part is help these guys figure it out on the fly. And let's get, like I said, one possession at a time, one shot at a time. Work for great shots.
Dan, thanks for coming over. We appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thank you. Dan Bisaccio, Miami Heat video coordinator, assistant coach for the Summer League team. Kind enough to come over and spend some time with us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time you've been waiting for. The sweet shooting left-hander out of Virginia. Kind enough to handle stats all evening long. John Crotty, a day before. It's the double nickel coming up. Is that what this is? Not quite. We're not even calling it.
5-4 tomorrow,
Okay,
brother.
fair
Come
enough.
on.
I always thought you might be 4 school years ahead of me, but only 3 years.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Well, you're a mature man. That's why.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
You're gonna have
Aren't
to
we-
stay. You're gonna have to stay hydrated, John.
Aren't
On
we
your
all?
birthday.
I just think John skipped a grade. That's probably what happened. In there somewhere in
Yeah.
southern Jersey. Buddy, welcome. And I imagine as we approach the 20th year of Vegas Summer League, you got to feel like, man,
it's amazing.
From whence it's come.
Yeah, it really is. It for me, as a guy who played in the summer league, had to play my way onto a team through the summer league.
Yeah.
It just brings back crazy amount of memories to me. Where the summer league used to be in LA, played in the Salt Lake City. That was where they had a huge gathering of teams. But wow, what a great home this has become. I mean, and what an event, right? I mean, to have 2 gyms where you can walk back and forth and see games all day long. If you're a basketball junkie, this is just heaven.
John, bring it down from back in the day. Take us back 30, 35 years. You guys were playing against not always NBA teams in that LA league, right? I mean, there's every now and then there'd be a stack of just, cats that play solid ball in L.A. And
I mean, it was
probably a little more organized when you were in Salt Lake City, but a little bit of both back then.
The LA League was a mix. It was typically team affiliated, but there were nights where they had to bring in other guys, and typically, guys who had just finished college and really were looking to go overseas, what have you. But it was always competitive. Jax, what's amazing now is just the content, how everything's on the radio or on TV, and everyone's following it, and how the NBA now is really a 365-day following, right? Whereas it was pretty much a dark time where no one really followed the game in the off season. Now there was really no stopping.
I'm sure the competitive nature hasn't changed, though, at the end of the day, right? And so I know we kind of were talking a little bit that what is it like? It's got to be so challenging at times to play in this type of environment.
It is. Yeah, it is. I mean, the beauty for me was I was a point guard, being able to handle the basketball and really dictate where the ball was going, right? So if I felt like I needed look, you're trying to do the right thing and win the game and play within the framework that the coaching staff has you playing. But, look, I felt like I was going to make the best decisions to try to help us win and also – at the same time, try to make the best decisions where I could participate as a passer or a scorer. And it's not easy because everyone's out there trying to do their thing. It is important to just make yourself stand out. And to do that, more often than not, you have to have the ball in your hand. And you got to be able to shoot and score, or you got to be able to make plays off the dribble. And then those other things accentuate your game. So it is a tough format because more often than not, guys aren't as unselfish as they typically would be during the regular season.
Nuggets 92, Heat 59, 8:27 remains in the game. Burton Jackson visiting with Crotty. How do you deal with a game like this when you're on the floor? It's got to be tough.
Brutal.
I mean, this is the first blowout in the 6 games that he have played both in Sacramento and here in Las Vegas that they've had to deal with anything like this.
Well, look, I think the way you look at it really is the game's immaterial in terms of, when you're a player at this juncture, you're looking at possessions and just trying to come in. If you get a chance to showcase yourself, you got to play as hard as you possibly can and try to stand out in some way, shape, or form and not worry about the score because it really doesn't matter. It's really about what you're doing while you're on the floor. But it's been tough. The Heat are clearly missing some of their top players right now. And we're seeing a Nuggets team that came in and has really shot the ball extremely well.
I ask every single person that's joined us because for me, right, it's my first year with the team, finals run, and I'm going, what the heck is going on? And so I keep asking everybody because everyone has their own perspective of what that was like. You know, it's you're part of something and you can kind of keep your blinders on, but then the whole world's seeing it. Everyone's got a different kind of opinion of what that, for you, what was like that.
I mean, I've been covering the team now starting in radio in 2005, and been doing the TV now, game call with Eric Reed for the last 5 years. Pretty amazing season. I mean, when I think about where we were and how the team would take a step forward and then take 2 back on a regular basis, every time I thought they were going to gain some ground, which is a typical Heat trait, right? With a team, the team gets better as the season goes on. This team did not. It seemed to take steps back. They obviously had injuries. They had different guys up and down, but the way they were able to pull it together and to lose the first play-in game, be down with 2-3 minutes to go in the second play-in game, pull through that, and then go on the run they did was magical. It just doesn't happen, right? I mean, in the NCAA and college, you can have a bad game and lose. But in the NBA, you got to win series to advance in the playoffs. And 99% of the time, the team that's, got more talent and has the track record during the season is the one that wins. And that was not the case. Miami got hot and just ran through it, played with tremendous confidence. And you just saw, I think, a lot of that adversity come together in the way they played chemistry-wise and just out-tough teams as well. And were fearless in their approach.
John Crotty with us here on the Miami Heat audio experience. Crotch, Miami Heat television color analyst. Let's run through some of the stuff that's been done as we see Gabe and Max cash it in, head to L.A. and Cleveland respectively. And then the Miami Heat initially respond with Thomas Bryant coming in, a kid we saw come into the league in division in Washington. Looking forward to see him fit in. Re-sign Love, which I think is a wonderful Heat culture dynamic that he caught on to automatically. And then how about Josh Richardson coming on?
Unbelievable, right? I really like the moves that have been made. First of all, you talked about Thomas Bryant. I think he's really going to surprise people because this is a guy, to me, and you and I were talking about this off air. He was on his way up, had that really
we were
bad
there that
ACL
night too,
against the Heat when he was with Washington, and he's come back. He's got himself in rhythm. I think he could really help Miami, and I think Kevin Love brings such a great veteran presence. I love his toughness, his rebounding, and his ability to shoot. And then Josh Richardson, to me, he was one of the great examples of a guy who came in as a second-round pick, had to play his way up, and did so, and really had his best season, right, his last year where he averaged about 16, 17 a game. And to me, he's been, in programs that haven't really valued what he brings. And I think it's going to be refreshing for him and for the team to get him back, because I think he's a guy who, as a fourth option, fifth option, can really help your team with the way he shoots and does a lot of the intangibles.
To take a quick break, John, you okay coming back with us?
Sure.
We appreciate it, man. Nuggets up 103-63 over Miami, 5:40 remaining. Like, Heat Nation needs to hear that. Nuggets over Heat with that type of separation. We're back with more John Crotty. Stay there. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
Heat fans, crazy ending for the Miami Heat store tonight's item of the game. We want to thank you for listening to the Miami Heat audio experience. For your loyalty, I have a special item of the game deal just for you. From now until Saturday, 10 a.m., you can get 40% off Heat Classic headwear. Log on to the MiamiHeatStore.com and enter the promo code VEGAS. That's right, VEGAS, VEGAS, and you'll get 40% off Classic Edition fitted snapback and dad hats. You better act fast because the offer ends Saturday at 10 a.m.
This is Jason Jackson with the Miami Heat, and I'm here to introduce you to Accordis, preferred partner of the Miami Heat. Accordis provides the latest technology to help us and many more enterprises like yours to thrive with their solutions for network, managed print, IT security, and more. They hold one of South Florida's largest authorized partner networks, partnering with Cisco, Microsoft, Samsung, LG, Xerox, Dell, HP, and dozens more. Accordis gives your business the fast and effective tech game plan it needs to continue to win. To start winning with us, contact Accordis today at 1-888-331-3134 or visit them at www.accordiscorp.com.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
The fourth game for the Miami Heat Summer League team in Las Vegas. The reality of a semifinal possibility slipping away from Miami, crushing the soul of one Amy Adelberg. She's about to create an international incident because she really wanted to battle for that Summer League championship and that ring from Jason's of Beverly Hills. And I appreciate that, Amy, but
my competitive juices never shut off. I can't help it. If you're in the gym, you're there, right?
Nuggets 103, Heat 63.
John, since Jax has been grilling me about my love for the post players, I want to ask you about them. It's at the beginning of last year, you're going, where's the depth at the post position? And now it is. You know, Bam, obviously, Kevin Love being retained, Thomas Bryant, the development of Orlando Robinson. I think that's been one of the brightest spots of the Summer League. And all of a sudden, there's some bodies, but they're all mobile in terms of they can shoot, right? They can stretch. And even a guy like Bam is setting screens at the three-point line and diving and moving. For you, when you played, I mean, I'm sure you saw a lot more traditional back to the baskets type of post players, but was there some that were a bit more mobile with you? Sure. And how does that, like, for you as the point guard, how does that affect the way you approach the game?
Well, I think, look, as a point guard, it gives you great versatility with your big to put them in better positions to succeed. I finished in 2003, and it was still very much a back to the basket pivot approach, and it's amazing to me how there are guys. You know, you just think of a guy like Hassan Whiteside or who's the big guy, the Turkish guy who's out of the league now as well. Big fella, played in Boston. I'm just, these are guys to me who would typically play until they can't move anymore with their ability to score around the basket and finish with hook shots. if you can't guard outside on the pick and roll and you can't stretch the floor, you've become in a lot of ways a liability, and it's an amazing dynamic to see, and to me a very short period of the entire length of the game's existence, how quickly that's occurred. So to your point, I love that Miami's addressed that right away, Amy, in regards to getting those personnel and having guys who can complement Bam. Bam does so much. If something happens to Bam, you got to have more guys to be able to fill that gap. And I think a guy like Thomas Bryant in particular does that. I like the way Orlando's continuing to develop his ability to step out and shoot. And, of course, what Kevin Love does, he's a proven shot maker out beyond the arc. So I love what the Heat have done.
John, before we run you out of here, I apologize.
I have my fix now, so go
You're
ahead.
good? You're
yes,
set?
we can move on now. Thank you.
Is that we got 3 new things we'll be dealing with going into this new season. This flop call.
Yeah.
I want you to address that. The fact that the coach now gets an extra if they're right on the challenge. And I want to know if the old school will tie into the new school and you embrace the glory that is the in-season tournament coming up here in the 23-24 season.
Look, I appreciate you giving me the platform here.
Yes,
look, I think, first of all, the flop thing to me is interesting. I think it's it's been somewhat done, but it not to the extent I think they want to do it. I like the setup of making it an actual free throw right away, and I think also take the onus a bit off the referees, perhaps, and make the call later too. I feel like if that's set right away, early part of the season, the players will adapt like they always do.
Plus that $2,000 out your pocket too.
Yeah. I mean, that hurts, but it's really more to me being perceived as a guy who's
right,
I'm a guy laying down all the time instead of actually taking contact. You don't want to have that reputation. It's a bad reputation as a player, right? We need a break here.
We do.
All right,
but you can finish your thought. I have some flexibility if you'd like.
I mean, I'd like to come back on the backside.
How about that? We'll get there quick so we even have some extra break time for you before we wrap things up. That's John Crotty about to give you a piece of his mind with the Nuggets up 105-75 over your Miami Heat with 2:22 remaining in Game 4. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE. Main office, Fort Lauderdale.
When it comes to basketball in Florida, Valley Sports Sun is the heart of the state, bringing you to the hardwood for all the biggest moments.
He's on fire!
Watch your hometown team turn up the temperature as they battle the very best around the league.
Oh, my.
Plus, pregame with your favorite Valley Sports team before and after each game for the Heat live pre- and post-game shows.
Yes.
Catch the Heat all season long on Valley Sports Sun, the Valley Sports app, and Valley Sports Plus.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
2:22 to go in this one. Nuggets dominating 105-75. Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any...
The Miami Heat play here. WQAM Miami. WPOW HD2 Miami. WKIS HD2 Boca Raton. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
A little double ID for the people. Nuggets 105, Heat 75. It's Amy Adelberg, Jason Jackson, and John Crotty on the microphone, breaking down some of the new things coming into the league. You want to go to, why don't we go to the Coaches Challenge?
Yeah, let's do that. I think the Coaches Challenge revision, I think, is really going to be well received. I mean, look, the coaches really need that second one, I think, particularly when they've been right on the first, to not be able to be awarded that second one. And, we've seen some crazy times where guys are going to it way earlier Whereas to me, why would you do it if you only get one? Now I think we're going to see a lot more earlier challenges as a result. And then the second thing you talked about was in season.
Yeah, when we come back here in December for the semifinal and final as the Miami Heat in the in-season tournament, I'm calling it right now.
That's wild,
Me
right?
too. We have to leave with a championship.
Somehow,
Vegas
Amy's
champion.
not leaving Vegas. But what do you think? I'm really excited about it.
I think it's exciting. No, I'm open to that kind of stuff. I'll tell you this. I think Adam Silver's done a tremendous job with the league. I love he's very thoughtful, and he doesn't throw these things out without really taking into consideration.
It's just like a 4-year period of him dropping it and then working on it.
And look how well, to me, I point to the plan. And the Heat are like the model citizen now, right, for that plan and how it's engaged teams. And, at the end of the day, the fan wants a more competitive experience, and that's what the plan did. And I think the in-season tournament's going to do the same thing.
John, we appreciate the time. I understand that you are booked already for Sunday at a time to be determined in this very gym for more insight and analysis.
I will be back.
Oh, Amanda's excited. She's like, book him. Put him in the rundown already. Fourth quarter domination by Crotty. And happy birthday ahead of time, my man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you. Nuggets 110, Heat 76. Great to visit with Miami Heat television color analyst John Crotty. Played on that Road Warrior team back in 1997. The team that took care of that battle against New York to get to the conference finals, 97 and 2023. Will remain in the annals of that long time battle between Pat Riley stops, separated by about 30 years. So Nuggets 110, Heat 76. Gardner from downtown. He's been letting some fly during our conversations. Gardner got the start with Orlando Robinson out. He's 3 of 4 from the edges. He's making 4 or 5 now. He's got 14 points.
Could have used a couple of those earlier in this one, right? It kind of got away from them and early, but
Patrick Gardner comes to us from Marist. He played one season there, undrafted. He played 2 years at Nassau Community College and then 2 at Division II St. Michael's in Vermont before finding the way. The path isn't always a straight line. He's probably not sitting in Vermont going, man, I can't wait to be in Summer League 4 years from now.
Very rarely is a straight line, and that's why you really have to appreciate guys. And again, he was not a guy that was getting a whole lot of opportunity or minutes earlier on in the Summer League, and you knew that was going to increase today. I think he's done a nice job with his 14 points and 6 rebounds, just getting in there and trying to make the most of his opportunity.
Nuggets 112, Heat 79. We're finishing up inside 20 seconds to go, and on a day where you don't have Jovic, Drew Smith not going to play, and Orlando Robinson not playing, Drew Peterson, who has emerged and started every Summer League game he played in, and it also didn't have the services of Jaquez again. I mean, you weren't coming out here with the full arsenal, but you would definitely hope that there would be a little more competition. I'm sure that's what Coach Butler will talk about after the game.
Yeah, well, Denver shot 57% from the field.
Yeah, it's way too comfortable, right?
And, that's unfortunate, but you're not always going to have your best game. You're not always going to hit the most shots, right? We've seen that. If anyone could sit here and say that, it certainly saw that, but you can stay in games if you can defend, and Denver just came out really aggressive and hit a lot of shots.
That Rocky Mountain High continues for the Nuggets against the Heat. We got a final 112-81. We'll wrap it up and get you ready for Sunday's action. We might even get some information while we're sitting here, by the way, on when we play on Sunday. We'll figure that out. Give it to you if we have it when we come back. This is the Miami Heat audio experience. The best way to celebrate a Heat win is with Papa John's Pizza, because when the Heat win, you win too. The day after a Heat win, get 50% off online orders at regular menu price when you order from the Papa John's app or papajohns.com using the promo code HEATWIN. And don't forget to join Papa Rewards for exclusive items and score points towards free pizza with every order. Papa John's, the official delivery pizza of the Miami Heat. Offer valid for online orders only. Not valid with other discounts. Delivery fee and taxes extra and are not subject to discount offer.
It's time for easier, and buying a Yamaha Wave Runner has never been easier. With the largest stock in South Florida, and with special offers during the Perfect Choice sales event, quick and easy financing and APR as low as 3.99% for 60 months. What are you waiting for? 2022 models are arriving. Jet Ski of Miami, your go-to dealer for anything Yamaha. Jet Ski of Miami and Fisherman's Boat Group, your Yamaha Marine Superstore for over 60 years. JetSkiofMiami.com. Main retail prices not include prep, freight, or tax. Monthly APR rate on price based on Tier 1 qualifying APR. See dealer for details.
Can health insurance be a doorway to a healthier life? To yoga classes? To nutrition classes? To nurses you don't need an appointment to see? Or even community specialists who give you access to helpful resources? It can. Our Florida Blue Centers offer all that and a whole lot more. All you have to do is walk through the door. What else can health insurance do? Find out at floridablue.com. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield. Florida Blue is a trading of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Heat fans, crazy ending for the Miami Heat store tonight's item of the game. We want to thank you for listening to the Miami Heat audio experience. For your loyalty, I have a special item of the game deal just for you. From now until Saturday, 10 a.m., you can get 40% off Heat Classic headwear. Log on to the MiamiHeatStore.com and enter the promo code VEGAS. That's right, VEGAS, VEGAS, and you'll get 40% off Classic Edition fitted snapback and dad hats. You better act fast because the offer ends Saturday at 10 a.m.
You have been listening to sizzling action of the Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Brought to you by Baptist Health, the official healthcare provider of the Miami Heat, by Bally Sports. Catch the Heat all season long on Bally Sports Sun, the Bally Sports app, and Bally Sports Plus, and by Ticketmaster, the official ticket partner of the Miami Heat.
Back live here in Vegas and Cox Pavilion, where the Heat fall 112-81 to the Denver Nuggets. Fourth quarter, Amy, got a little better, but that's probably the accelerator being released by Denver a little bit, but also a little harder effort in playing by the Miami Heat. Couldn't get more than 19 points in each of the first three quarters, 27th in the fourth. I'm not sure just yet, waiting for the information to hit my telephone. There's one more game to go here in Cox Pavilion and even across the way in Thomas and Mack before all the decisions can be made about who's will be where. But with this loss, it's tough at 500 to make the semifinal until we'll find out exactly when the Heat will play on Sunday a little bit later tonight.
So you're saying are you saying there's a
It's
chance?
always next year.
Oh, Jax, not again.
There's some undefeated teams. There's a boatload of single loss teams, Amy. I'm sorry.
The one guy I'd say pretty impressed with this entire tournament again today is Jamari Bouye. I mean, he's locked in his two-way opportunity, and he's still out there and battling it out and really producing 20 points. But he only had 3 assists today, but that's because nobody was hitting shots. I think he's still a great right. I mean, the assist thing is
didn't turn it over.
No, right, and rebounded. He goes really hard. So just really encouraged and happy for him to be producing. But that's what it is, right? You get to this next game. Doesn't matter who you're playing. At the end of the day, this is the stage where you have to have your opportunity, and you've got to really capitalize and seize on that. So there's one more for Miami at least. I'm not over it yet, Jax. At least one more game for these guys to give it a go.
I have pre-dinner cocktails. I will pay for dinner tonight. You will pay for cigar cocktails later, but I think
deal.
That's a soothing scenario.
Lock
we just
that
had
in.
right there.
Lock that
You
in.
act like I don't pick up a lot of bills. I mean, come on, let's be honest. It's not that you don't
I
want to.
But I don't bring you snacks and stuff. I don't knock on your
Why is
door with
it
donuts.
always a competition? I'm just
I don't knock on
noting.
his door with donuts and bagels.
Once again, the final score: Nuggets win 112-81. The Miami Heat audio experience returns on Sunday as the Heat will face a team to be named later at a time to be announced later. Lock into Heat.com and Heat social media platforms for the latest information. This has been a presentation of the Miami Heat audio experience. Our producer, the great Matt Wilson. Our engineer, Amari Mitchell. Miami Heat Broadcasting Associate Director, Amanda Fuentes, who just rocked it on national television, making the rollout on NBA TV, by the way. Miami Heat Broadcasting Assistant Courtney Fallon, our Quality Control Coordinator. For Amy Alderberg, I am Jason Jackson. Talk to you Sunday, Heat Nation. This has been the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
You have been listening to sizzling action of the Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Brought to you by Baptist Health, the official healthcare provider of the Miami Heat, by Bally Sports. Catch the Heat all season long on Bally Sports Sun, the Bally Sports app, and Bally Sports Plus, and by Ticketmaster, the official ticket partner of the Miami Heat.
At the UPS store, not every small business needs the same thing, but every small business needs something. We're the scanning and faxing store, the printing store, the packing and shipping store,
I need my designing place and my printing place to be the same place store.
We're the one-stop, right around the corner, everything you need so you can be unstoppable store. The UPS store, be unstoppable. The UPS store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
When it comes to basketball in Florida, Bally Sports Sun is the heart of the state, bringing you to the hardwood for all the biggest moments.
Come on, he's on fire.
Watch your hometown team turn up the temperature as they battle the very best around the league.
Oh, my.
Plus, pregame with your favorite Bally Sports team before and after each game for the Heat live pre- and post-game shows.
Yes.
Catch the Heat all season long on Bally Sports Sun, the Bally Sports app, and Bally Sports Plus.
The all-new NBA app is happening and has you covered from coast to coast. Live tip-offs at your fingertips and highlights right as they happen.
Steph Curry drills the play.
Catch every can't-miss moment before, during, and after the game. And behind the scenes like you've never seen. It's all access, all the time.
Get on through what you do,
all in one app. Because if it's happening in the new NBA app. So get the app today.
This is Jason Jackson with the Miami Heat, and I'm here to introduce you to Accordis, preferred partner of the Miami Heat. Accordis provides the latest technology to help us and many more enterprises like yours to thrive with their solutions for managed print, IT security, and more. They hold one of South Florida's largest authorized partner networks, partnering with Cisco, Microsoft, Samsung, LG, Xerox, Dell, HP, and dozens more. Accordis gives your business the fast and effective tech game plan it needs to continue to win. To start winning with us, contact Accordis today at 1-888-331-3134 or visit them at www.accordiscorp.com.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey Sports. For even more coverage of your team, download the free Odyssey app and listen to your favorite stations, shows, and podcasts.
Messi's in South Florida. The world's most popular athlete is playing for Inter Miami, and we've got all the games. Listen to Inter Miami versus the rest of the MLS right here. Goals, great saves, bumps and thumps, and Messi. This is the home for Inter Miami. AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
One of my other buddy's girlfriends under the table. And that's, I think, when that ended.
Little trickle?
Yeah.
Little splatter?
Something like that. It was gross, though.
It is. It's gross.
Yeah.
But when you're in those situations, like, there's just nowhere you can go.
The worst is, like, when you're in traffic, you're in a traffic jam, and you're on the
it's
highway.
terrible.
One time, I was at Disney, and everything's like a bus ride, but everything is usually like a 2-minute bus ride. And we were going from one spot to another spot. And my wife's like, actually, this is the long ride. And I had to go to the bathroom really bad. So when I got off there, I was like, I just got to run. I got to do it in the parking lot. And she's like, Ryan, this is Disney. Like, you will go to prison.
There's children.
You can't do that here.
You can't pull your manhood out in the middle of a parking lot at Disney World where there's children.
Nothing worse than being in a car, an automobile,
when you
a
got
bus,
a two?
and you got to go to the bathroom.
Stop.
When you got a 2, is that what you said?
You got to make a 2.
1, 2.
Do you want to tell your story about earlier, PJ?
No.
No.
I'm good.
I don't want to hear it.
No. No, guys, when you got to go, you got to go.
When you got to go,
But
you got to go.
that was my question for you guys. I said it at 50 million. I'm like, my mom and I woke up at 3:15 in the morning. We got in line at 4 a.m. to try and get the best tickets that we could at Wimbledon, to try and get tickets to like a center court or a court 1.
Yeah.
You're only able to get tickets to court 2 because freaks camped overnight.
Yeah.
And they did that whole thing. We were like the 1,500th people in line. It was insane.
You can't. Like, here's the thing. You're still a normal person. There's crazies out there that are willing to do that for days or if not weeks.
Yeah,
you're not competing with that.
2 weeks. And then think about it. You're out there 2 weeks and then you get into the final. Think about those people that have to sit next to the freaks that did that.
They've got to be able to shower. There's no way they're not showering.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have somebody come and then somebody goes and then somebody comes back.
Yeah, you're going in shifts.
I don't think they're, yeah.
I would hope so. I don't know.
That's got to be what, I mean, I guess but that's the thing. If you don't live there, do you have a hotel then? And then maybe you take turns sleeping in the tent, alternating.
Yeah.
You know, like if you came from, you came like you out there, like if you were willing to do that, you would have had to maybe have a hotel and you go in shifts. And then one night you're in there, one night you're in the hotel.
Right.
Then you can shower, then you can live a normal life or go a couple days or like that would have to be how you do it. There's no way it's 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's some people that do it, but
No,
you know it because you
no
smell
way,
them.
dude. Because like I said, even my friends that were obsessed with Batman, The Dark Knight, even for 48 hours, they were doing it in shifts.
Yeah.
And I was shocked there was like a line for this. Because like I wanted to see the movie too, but I was going to wait outside.
No.
And you still got in and see it opening night.
Yeah, I just had everybody else wait in the line. I never did my shift. I was like, no, yeah, I'll do Wednesday. Never showed up.
And that's probably the better way to do it. Just do it in shift.
I was like, nobody knew who I was before I put on the mask. Different Batman, but
Still the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's Friday at 10.
Well, it's only 7:15 on the West Coast. Remember that.
That's true.
There you go. It's BetMGM tonight.
Nick, Trista, and Ryan are taking a short break. Stay tuned because there's plenty more to come on BetMGM tonight, presented by BetMGM. Live from BetQL.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. So why are you walking to work? Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They're draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore. Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. Oh, wait. You're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app? Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas. Does that actually add up to anything? I'll make around $200. Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FULL for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code FULL. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FULL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FULL.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Shop end-of-season deals during the Truckload event at Lowe's. Right now, save on major appliances and get an additional 10% off in-store clearance appliances. Plus, take up to 70% off select vanities, like the Allen & Roth Vanity Combo. Was $1,399, now $409. Get great deals now. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/19. Exclusions apply. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
You can host the best backyard barbecue. You can find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
What does summer sound like in a new Chevy? Find the best way to the ballpark with the Chevy Equinox navigation system. Load up the kayaks with room to spare in the spacious Chevy Trailblazer with 60/40 split folding rear seats. Haul out the camper and spend a night roasting marshmallows with the Chevy Silverado. Or feel the roar of the crowd and bring the whole crew along in the Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. So what are you waiting for? Click now and find summer happiness in a new Chevy. See your South Florida Chevy dealer. Traverse seating up to 8 standard and LS available on LT with second row bench seat, RS Premier, and High Country seat 7.
Toby is so nice. You should date Toby.
Mom, no way. He's so boring.
I love that for you. It's like our extreme internet. No drama.
And also totally forgettable.
Yeah, because it works so well you don't even have to think about it. It's secure, works super fast, and does exactly what it promises it will do. You know what? I'd marry Toby.
Break free from drama. Get an extreme internet package with whole home Wi-Fi 360 Pro and live happily ever after with an always fast, always on connection.
Are you the creative type? And you already know lots of cool things Photoshop can do, like create eye-popping images for social and gorgeous graphics for t-shirts and posters. But did you also know it can instantly turn a gray sky into a fiery sunset, change black and white to color in a click, or make anything in your photo magically disappear? Maybe you're wondering, can anyone use Photoshop to take images from ordinary to amazing? Nope, everyone can. Visit Photoshop.com and get started for free.
When I treat myself, I want it all. I want layers of velvety ice cream, indulgent sauces, and a chocolate shell that cracks so loudly that everyone in the room can hear it. Indulge now. Magnum ice cream doubles, minis, duets, even non-dairy. Magnum ice cream. More is more. Discover decadence in store or online at magnumicecream.com.
The summer savings are hot at Miami Lakes Kia. Get $0 down or no payments for 90 days on many new models. This week at Miami Lakes Kia, lease a 2023 Kia Forte LXS for $199 per month for 24 months. That's right, a 2023 Kia Forte LXS for $199 per month. Don't miss this opportunity to save big on your next new car purchase. More inventory means more selection. Miami Lakes Kia, the Palmetto and 57th Avenue. Shop online at MiamiLakesKia.com. Wait for 425-5474 for details.
Hey, want to see the ugly mugs that go along with our melodious voices?
Do I have to worry about this?
We are on YouTube. That's great that you're doing that. All kinds of videos of your favorite hosts doing shows at events, shenanigans galore, and great interviews.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Someone tell me how to feel.
So easy to find us. Just go to YouTube and search WQAM. Don't miss out. So next time you're at the grocery store waiting forever behind that person writing a check.
Clean up on aisle 4.
Watch us on YouTube. Just search WQAM. Have fun, and don't forget to subscribe. WQAM now on YouTube.
Great. Not great Taysom Hill, who for some reason was just on my top TV.
Saw
right
that.
there.
Yeah, so they're talking about the Saints, I guess. I'm in on the Saints this year. I love them to win the division.
If you missed the show earlier, I gave out a best bet.
Yep.
For the night, it's the Atlanta Falcons, the Dirty Birds. We could do it off the Jordan Lawn. Let's be all long with the Dirty Birds go true. To make the playoffs plus 120. That was my ludicrous.
This is a guy that didn't sleep last night because he was watching quarterback.
Some Marcus Mariota
and
film.
breaking down some Marcus
Desmond
Mariota
Ridder.
film.
Yeah. I'm excited, though, for the season. You know, it's right around the corner, kind of, but not too soon. I wish it was
52
a little
days
bit sooner.
No, you know what? Allow yourself to have some time off. Give yourself some time with your family.
Well, if I had
Give yourself
some time off, then I'd be a lot happier. Like, I'm thinking about that. Well, actually, you know what? Me and the Glass Man, next week, we're breaking down every single conference in college football. We're going to go through every single team.
Every single one.
Every single team.
Every last team. Even the really bad ones.
I'll tell you, you want to hear about Boise State's backup quarterback on Wednesday night? I got you covered here on the BetMGM.
That is a tease.
Yeah.
That is a tease.
Yeah.
Well, earlier we talked to Grant Paulson, who was live in Seattle for the All-Star game, but also looked ahead, more importantly, to everything in the second half of the baseball season. But, of course, it's very important to kind of get a gauge on how the All-Star game has changed over the years.
It's a great question. He must be very handsome. It's changed a lot.
Worst.
Nah, I kid. It has changed a lot. Here's what baseball's doing really, really well at this point, is they've integrated the game at all levels. So I got out here for my obligations for MLB Network Radio on Friday afternoon. And right when I landed and got checked into my hotel, the high school All-American game was starting, where they've got all the best high school prospects in the country who are going to be taking part in the draft a year later. Then you fast forward to Friday night, and the HBCU Classic was being held, which was a really cool showcase that they did for some of the great players who are in HBCU schools around the country. On Saturday, they had the Futures game with all the best players in the minor league. On Sunday, they had the MLB draft. Now, that used to be held in early June, and it had nothing to do with this event. Now it's on the site of the All-Star game. They had it at Lumen Field here in Seattle, where the Seahawks play. The third year in a row they've had the draft. as part of these festivities. And then it all leads up to Monday of the home run derby last night, and tonight, Tuesday, the game. So I've been here for days. Many people have. And we find ourselves kind of thinking, oh, wow, there's an all-star game now, too. And that used to be what the whole thing was about. So I just think they've done a really good job trying to grow the game, incorporating other events, trying to build baseball up at different levels and really showcase some of the other things they have to offer to get people involved, not only at a younger age, but maybe to expose fans to players before they become stars.
Yeah, it'll be awesome to see all eyes tonight on Shohei Ohtani batting second. Unfortunately, can't pitch tonight for the American League. But, the Angels, 1-9 in their last 10. They're now a game below 500. Do you think there's any chance Ohtani gets moved at the deadline? If not, where do you see him next year?
I would move him at the deadline. I don't think he will be traded, though. But, yes, I would consider moving Shohei Ohtani. I think he's going to end up a Dodger. I think they've been planning to go spend and add him for the last couple of years. I think the only reason they were quiet this offseason, and by their standards did almost nothing to get under luxury tax, is because they wanted to get back over the luxury tax pretty substantially by going and getting Shohei Ohtani. And the way that it works in baseball is if you're over the tax by a certain percentage for 3 straight years, you get incrementally penalized, right? So they kind of reset their clock of being able to spend without a budget by not going over this past off season. They just missed out on Sunday night of having a top round pick. They were docked 10 picks and didn't pick until 36 because of all their spending in previous years. But I think their plan is to go get them. If I was the Angels, though, I think you just got to be real. You got to look at the standings, where you're at, the likeliness of all the teams you have to leapfrog to get into the postseason. Are you going to be able to, number one, get Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon back on the field, keep them on the field, get the production you need to out of those guys? If all 3 of your stars that you're paying a lot of money to, Trout, who's got the biggest contract in the sport for a bat, Ohtani and Rendon are great, is that enough? Because the answer's been no up until this point, and I don't think it will be. They're not going to trade him. It's just too good for their business and too big of a star. But I would. Look at what the Nationals did with Juan Soto. They got crushed for trading him. And right now, this moment, I would say that the Nationals would still do that deal, and the Padres would be the team that might be having buyer's remorse. So I think they could really completely reboot their system. No, not to the extent of a Soto because it's an expiring contract, but maybe add a couple of decent prospects that no one else is getting in a trade this trade deadline if they were to move them.
Yeah, are you hearing anything right now in Seattle about maybe Nolan Arenado getting moved as well? I mean, the Cardinals a disaster, 38-52, 11.5 games back in the NL Central. Any chance they maybe move him at the deadline, and who would be interested in him?
What a mess of a season it's been. By the way, I jumped on a ticket, and I was feeling great about this, Ryan. So at one point in time, the Cardinals were 10 games back early, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, right then and there, I thought, well, the NL Central stinks. Nobody's going to be any good.
Right.
The winner of that division might be, 85, 86 wins, something like that at best. So I pounced on them, and they got back within, I think it was 4.5 games, and I was fist pumping. And then they free fell again. I mean, they're just not very good. So not only that, in that division, to your point, the Reds, who have won 22 of 29 since they called up Ellie De La Cruz, are legit. The Brewers, even though they can't hit or score at all, need a bat, but they can pitch, so they're going to hang around. There was a time where Ken Rosenthal was right, and they were going to trade Corbin Burns and move on from some of their arms, and that's not going to happen anymore. So you got 2 teams in that division that are playoff caliber, and the Cardinals are going to be out on the outside looking in. I don't think they move Arenado. I've not heard, to answer your question directly, any talk about that while I was out here. But, look, this is what I would do. You're going to hear this answer from me a lot. If I have a guy who is under contract for multiple years moving forward that I control, if I feel like I'm going to be a winner again in that time, I'll consider keeping him. But otherwise, it's about adding to my system. You got to be ruthless. This is not about selling jerseys and keeping fans happy. It's about having talent, not only in the minor leagues, but at the major league level that's young and controllable. And the best way to do that is to trade these pieces when you're bad.
The Orioles sit plus 400 to win the AL East right now. 2 games back of Tampa. 5-game winning streak heading into the All-Star break. We know all the young talent they have. Is there a chance that the Orioles could look at their position and maybe be buyers at the deadline, or do you think they're going to kind of stick with the young core they have and try to ride this out the rest of the season, given the way they're already playing?
No, the Orioles are going to be buyers. There's no doubt in my mind. I think they're going to try to trade for a pitcher, keeping Lucas Giolito's name in mind, maybe Jack Flaherty. We were just talking about the Cardinals. I think he's going to be on the move. The question is, which prospects are they willing to part with? Because to this point, Mike Elias, correctly in their rebuild, their executive that's put this roster together, has not wanted to move their highly regarded prospects that they've drafted and developed. But it's time to start parting with those guys. Who is that? Maybe a Teston Kierstad who just played in the Futures game, who just got promoted to AAA, who's got 16 home runs. Maybe it's Connor Norby, who's at AAA Norfolk level, or Kobe Mayo, who's got big-time power, is closing in on 20 home runs, who just got promoted to AAA in their system as well. But if you put a couple of prospects, 2 or 3 guys together that haven't gotten to the big leagues yet, no, I'm not talking about Jackson Holiday, who is still their best prospect, or any of the guys that have graduated this year, like Gunnar Henderson or Colton Cowser or Grayson Rodriguez or even Jordan Westberg, who's a couple of weeks into the time. And this is how many guys they have. I'm just rattling off these names. These are all top 100 prospects in the game. I think they could go get an arm. I think they will. Now, I will tell you, I don't think they're going to beat the Rays. I know they've kind of caught them going into the break as Tampa Bay's taking on some water here. Look at some of the innings and some of the issues they've had in that rotation, right? I mean, Jeffrey Springs was the best pitcher in baseball for a month, goes down. Drew Rasmussen was fantastic. He went down. Now he's going to have TJ. They didn't have Glasnow for a big portion of the year. They've had Shane McClanahan on the shelf last couple of weeks. I just talked to him a few minutes ago. He should be back soon after the break. But that's 80% of their rotation at one point in time, what they envisioned, that has not been fully available. And they're still arguably the best team in the American League. So I think they, too, are in the market for a pitcher. They'll get healthier. That's a better ball club that's just more ready to win, better offensively probably, certainly more experienced. And I think that they edge out the Orioles in the East. But Baltimore is going to be in the playoffs, and I think they're going to add.
Who do you think's the biggest threat to the Braves in the National League? Because you look at the AL, you can make the case for like 3 or 4 teams to get to the World Series, and you never know in baseball. It's usually the Dodgers, but I mean the Diamondbacks are scary this year. The Giants are only 2.5 back in the West. Who would you answer?
So this is lazy, Ryan, but I'm going to say the Dodgers. I don't like any other teams that much, to be completely honest with you. I'll say this. If somehow the Phillies could get in, I could see a similar group at the start of the playoffs to what happened last year. And now you just need, does lightning strike twice on a magical carpet ride? The pitching isn't quite as good. Nola hasn't thrown as well, but they've started to put it together. If you look at a 30-game sample here, that's a much better, different team than they were early in the year. Bryce Harper having come back. Castellanos, I was just watching, take infield at third, is here, obviously, at the All-Star game. You're going to get a terror at some point from Kyle Schwarber. So I would throw them in as a deeper cut club, but my answer is still the Dodgers, who I think win the West. This is not your older brother's Dodgers, are not as good as that team's been over the last few years, or some of these 105 win type teams.